My name is Christina from Empowered Creator. I am a mindset and conscious manifesting teacher and coach, and this is my YouTube channel. Here I talk about all things law of assumption, mindset, conscious manifesting, the quantum universe, and a lot more. And my goal is to simplify everything without the fluff. So if you guys like this content and you would like to see more of it, I would love it if you would subscribe to this channel, comment on this video, like it, share it, and stick around. Also, if you need help with your specific situation, I offer one-on-one coaching as well as custom subliminals for whatever needs you may have. I also have some self-study courses about manifesting your specific person, and I do have a members-only channel with a lot of perks for members, including weekly live workshops with a different manifesting topic each week, weekly live group coaching, a lot of exclusive content, monthly challenges for a chance to win a free one-on-one coaching session with me, and a lot more. So if you're interested in any of these services, the links are below in the description box. Click on them and they're going to take you to my website or to the membership channel. With all that being said, let's dive into today's video. In today's video, I'm so excited to bring to you an amazing success story from an amazing coaching client of mine. And the reason why this success story is so amazing is a lot of you might recognize yourself in those quote-unquote circumstances, because this client manifested what many people would consider the impossible. She manifested her specific person to choose her over the third party that existed, and she did that under seemingly impossible, or at the very least, very, very hard circumstances. I'm going to talk about all of this in a minute, and I'm going to tell you how she did it. So this is what I'll be discussing in today's video. Stay tuned. So as I said, and of course, if you've been delving into these manifesting teachings and if you've been applying the law in your life, you probably know by now that there is no such thing as an impossible thing to manifest. And this is because everything we manifest and everything that we see as a manifested experience is a direct result of where we put our consciousness. However, by 3D standards and by society standards, you could say that her situation, her circumstances were very hard, if not impossible. So to give you a little bit of a background of this client's story, when she started coaching with me, she wanted my help in manifesting this specific person who she had known for some time. She was really, really in love with him. She was convinced that he was the love of her life. She was convinced that he was her soulmate. He seemed to have similar feelings, however, they seemed to be a 3D circumstance that she didn't know how to navigate. And that 3D circumstance was that this same SP was already with someone else who he had been with for many, many years. And because the culture of both of them, they come from the same culture, dictates that you want to please your family, you want to do what your family wants, and you don't disobey your family and so on. The difficult quote-unquote circumstance that they had to face was that his family was very, very insistent that he needs to marry that girl, that third party. So when my client first came to me for coaching, that was her big stumbling block. How do I manifest him to choose me over the third party when his family is in the picture and his family is insisting and pushing him to marry the third party? So we work together. I help her understand what it means to shift your consciousness to the state that you want, what it means that circumstances really don't matter once you shift your consciousness to the state that is aligned with your desire. I guided her through some inner conversations with her SP, also some inner conversations with the SP's family. And so with the work that we did together, she started shifting her inner state and her inner perceptions of the situation. And very, very quickly, she started seeing movement with her SP. Him calling her, him wanting to see her. She even manifested both of them to be in the same country from which they both are originally, but they both live in a different country. But she manifested both of them visiting their country at the same time and, believe it or not, bumping into each other, not once, but multiple times. And so when we first started coaching, she was in a situation where her SP had told her, look, I love you, I have feelings for you, but we cannot be together, try to move on. After she started shifting her consciousness and truly aligning with her state of the wish fulfilled, her SP did a 180 as well. He started calling, he started pursuing, he started wanting to see her, he started showing her more feelings, more emotions. And so a couple of days ago, I got this email from her with her success story. I'm going to read to you guys from that email. So here's what she says. I'm reading directly from her email verbatim. Hello, Christina. I hope this email finds you well. Happy New Year. I hope you had a wonderful holiday season and are doing great. I wanted to share an update about my situation and also thank you for all your helpful videos and coaching sessions. Your guidance has truly made a difference. If you remember, during our last session about 1.5 months ago, we discussed birds before landing and how I had been noticing specific signs about my SP. Shortly after that session, something incredible happened. My SP, now my boyfriend, and I spent a week together in London during Christmas. The trip exceeded all my expectations. I never imagined I'd get to experience something like that with him in London. During the trip, I learned that he had decided to separate from his previous partner, and at that time, they hadn't spoken in over 5 weeks. After our holiday, we both returned to their country, where we currently are. We've been spending a lot of time together, seeing each other 2 times a day. He has told me he loves me, a couple of other things that she's mentioning, and one other thing I wanted to read. Where was it? She said, yes, I'm still amazed that I manifested him into my life. It feels surreal and I'm confident he is a significant part of my future. So you see, you guys, how this client, by shifting her consciousness into the consciousness of having her SP, being with her SP, the third party not even mattering, the pressure coming from his family, despite all the assumptions about their culture not mattering, was able to manifest what seemed to be impossible just a few weeks ago. And yes, she did some techniques, as I said, she did some inner conversations, I believe she visualized as well, but the most important thing is that she changed her state to start feeling like the person who had her specific person. And one thing that I very distinctly remember hearing in our last session, and this is for me as a coach always a strong indication when I hear it from a client that their manifestation is close to manifesting, or at the very least, they're very, very close to getting significant movement, is when she told me at our latest session that she felt completely convinced that things were working out. She felt without a shadow of a doubt that her SP was hers. She told me she wasn't doubting anything. She wasn't second guessing anything. She herself verbatim told me that she was 100% convinced that she was going to have her SP and that she was going to have her success story with him. And like she said, like I read in the email, very shortly after that session, things really kicked into gear. She had started getting movement, and then the trip to London happened. They got into a relationship. She found out the third party didn't exist in his life anymore. And none of what previously seemed like insurmountable circumstances even mattered anymore, or even existed anymore, or even was in the picture anymore. So you see then how shifting your inner state, shifting your inner focus, your inner consciousness, and your inner awareness towards what you actually want, towards states that are aligned with what you actually want to experience, is what brings you success, you guys. There is nothing that is impossible. There are no circumstances that are insurmountable. But your consciousness does need to move, does need to change, does need to align as fully as possible with your state of the wish fulfilled. In other words, a state where you feel like the person who already has their desire. My client got herself into that state, and very soon after that, she experienced this amazing success story with her SP. So let this story be your inspiration and your motivation. If you're second guessing things, if you're doubting things, if you're thinking too much about your circumstances, thinking that they're very hard, this is because you are still in the old consciousness. You are still in the consciousness where you're dwelling on what you see as insurmountable 3D circumstances. Once you move internally and you shift your consciousness into a consciousness that doesn't worry about the circumstances because you already have what you want, you are going to see big, huge differences in your 3D, and who knows, you might very well be our next success story. With all that being said, I'm going to wrap up this video here. I intend that this has helped. As always, I very much appreciate you guys being on this channel, watching this content. I love making this content for you. And as always, I look forward to seeing you all at the next video. Until then, take care and bye-bye.